Nope, I helped you with the work weekend. Helped you guys with the work weekend, and then busy work like usual.
Well, let's get right to news and notes time.
Listeners, there are few things that can divide the host of this show like Ken Block.
Love him.
He's an amazing driver, business marketer, and the Hooniverse.
Done after one video. That was enough. Thanks.
It's like I got things to do, which is nothing.
So the Hooniverse Racing Division makes some incredible vehicles. And for example, this one. And this is the Hoonipigasaus. It is a 1,400 horsepower twin turbo 911 built to chase the overall win at the 2022 Pikes Peak Hill Climb. It's a tribute to the 71 Pink Pig 907 race car and a nod to the old Mobil Oil Pegasus logos from the early days of the 356, and it highlights Hooniverse's partnership with Mobil One. The livery was designed by a street artist, Trevor Andrew, and design aside, this is a real impressive piece of innovation. BBI Autosport moved the 4-liter 6-cylinder forward, which makes it mid-engined, and they made it all-wheel drive. They have got more aero and wings than an IMSA prototype. But this is the really cool part. It's got dynamic suspension that adjusts based on GPS telemetry from last year's run in the Hoonicorn. Now, Block's running in the open class, and while you know the Hoonicorn climb video, you may not know that Ken Block has challenged at Pikes Peak before. In 2005, he drove a group in rally car in the event. And you can certainly bet that Ken Block is going to document this 100th running of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. It's going to be next month, June 26th. And if I see videos, we'll probably throw it on our social medias. But we've got a link to the Car and Driver article by Fred Smith, as well as the Auto Week piece by Wesley Wren in our show notes.
All of the wangs are big enough for me to take a nap on.
There's a lot of,
the splitter is huge, and so is the wing of the bang, right? And it looks like it has a rear diffuser as well. So all of that means I'm just going to go take a nap on that.
I feel like two people could take a nap on that front diffuser and not really bother each other.
Maybe so.
But that's the way Pikes Peak cars run. I mean, that is not
now that it's paved all the way to the top. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, even back in the day, the old Suzuki Escudo, I mean, it might as well have had a folding table as a splitter. That's pretty much what it was.
All right. Well, maybe I'm not as familiar. So it's still big aero.
Oh, it's all the wang.
It's all aero.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We know a thing or two about French cars. They're all right. Don't let Jeff say Citroen.
So
when,
don't get mental to say Citroen.
Yeah. So when Renault agreed to sell all their interest in Lada, how can you go wrong? Our interest was piqued. Matthew Guy, the Truth About Cars, tells us that the French automaker is selling all of their Russian stakes to Moscow. The price, 1 ruble, comrades, or current exchange rates, $1.50. Not a joke. Moscow Times said the facility would soon restart production of the Moscovich brand, because that's where you start, and no one's ever heard of them, right? Yep, that's because they've been defunct since 2001, producing legacy vehicles based on old Simca designs, because
that's going to be great.
There is nothing but success right there. Yep. Which is Simca designs are typically French Chryslers from the 70s. Mm-hmm. Really, nothing has ever screamed success like some Russians building legacy French Chrysler designs on worn out tooling. This is going to be great.
Great success.
Yeah. So under Renault, the plant did produce models like the Logan, Duster, Sandero, all-time favorites of Top Gear's James May. The Renault's exit is expected to cost them a $2.2 billion write-off, because everyone's that sick of Russia.
You know, like, they didn't have a choice. It's not like they could stay there. It's not like they could try and profit off of it.
Like anyone else is going to buy it?
Yeah, nobody's going to buy it. Anyway, So, hey, last week, y'all remember, I was pretty excited over the new VW-built electric Scout. This week, the Auto Journalist's World Reaction has. I read about actually 5 or 6 pieces. I was going to link a piece before, but I like these 2 also. The first comes from Adam Wilcox at Haggerty. He theorizes that this will put existing international Scout-built SUVs and pickups into the stratosphere. He cites the new Bronco raising prices of the original about 45%, and Bronco prices were already like huge, so whatever. He cites the new the all-electric. Sorry, he also says the all-electric Hummer made early versions of the H1 in museum condition, selling for over $200,000. Could you imagine anyone buying an H1 for $200,000?
Money laundered.
Money laundered, exactly.
Sure.
This is just NFTs with wheels, people. Anyway, the Scout, he cites that the Scout has a slight tendency to rust. No, I'm trying not to curse Sherlock, all right?
No, it does not have a slight tendency to rust. It has a terrific tendency to rust.
Exactly. It came from rust from the factory. Owner neglect. I can also completely admit to owner neglect. Impossible to source parts. Yes. And much lower production numbers, that saying that this is going to make Scouts be even more expensive. Y'all know that every single Scout was a custom order, right? They didn't build them and then send them to dealerships. You went to the dealership and you checked the boxes, and the VIN number has no connection to whatever's on the car. You actually have to order from some guy in Michigan to like go to the microfile room and send you what parts were originally on your Scout. And it's a piece of paper.
That's good.
Yeah. Good. So anyway, second journalist takes a much more negative, comes from Zach Bauman at Jalopnik. He quotes the title, "I fear the Volkswagen Scout will be a cowardly joke. The electric Scout will be a cynical branding exercise, and we all deserve it. It's worth nothing. It's worth noting that Zach is a third-generation Scout enthusiast, asked his wife to marry him on the tailgate of a Scout Terra." That's the little pickup. He is not a VW fan. Quote, "Finally, someone will marry the legendary reliability of the company that brought us never buy a German car out of warranty with the American nameplate that made rust a factory feature."
Wow.
He's not wrong.
Wow.
Both pieces are worth the read. They'll be in the show notes. Check it out.
That's pretty amazing. All right. Back in the day, your driver's test included a question on which way to turn your front wheels when parked on the street on a hill. The reason was a small but not imagined possibility that your car would simply roll away if a parking brake failed or the transmission slipped. New vehicles, particularly electric ones, have solved this dilemma, or have they? Andy Kalmowitz at Jalopnik tells us the National Traffic Highway Administration's latest recall, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6, 2 of the hottest EVs from the Korean partners. Finally, it's not an electric vehicle catching fire. It is a software glitch, unironically called the vehicle rollaway from software error. Recall. From the notice, the shift-by-wire system is a subject. In the subject vehicles contains a shifter control unit, SCU, the electronic parking prol actuator. A voltage fluctuation may occur with the vehicle off in the parking in the park position, which could impact the command signal from the SCU to the parking actuator, resulting in a momentary disengagement of the parking prol and potential vehicle rollaway. It impacts all 9,000 Kia EV6s and 10,000 Ioniq 5s. While the issue is the same, Hyundai recommends owners use the electronic parking brake when parking. The Kia recommends drivers park their EV6s on flat surfaces. Oh, good. That's a fine.
All those people in San Francisco who bought these.
No problem at all there. Yep, the replacement of the module is free and will be done with the dealership.
I'll just mention that we looked at the Ioniq 5, and it is a fantastic vehicle, and on the short list for my wife's daily driver.
Get on that list, because their list is not short at all.
No,
their list,
not at all. They are
really,
almost
really
as long
long
as Tesla's. So, Hey, out of nowhere, can I throw in some listener feedback in a totally wrong section of the show?
Yes.
It seems on YouTube, the doodly do, a guy named Justin Races Weekends, which is just as grammatically correct as Everyone Racers, reached out to our still beating hearts and gave our official partner a shout out. He said he liked our new intro music, which you can see on the YouTube on some of our shorter videos. And he wanted to know how many of us were going to Thunderhill because he bought a boring BMW off of Racing Junk. His exact quote, I bought a boring BMW off of Racing Junk. And isn't that exciting? It's like he called our catchphrase. He used it's amazing. Justin, we love you. This is the perfect.
None of us are going to be at Thunderhill.
None of us are going to be at
but
Thunderhill.
Say hi to Corey.
Oh,
Yeah,
excuse
Can't
me.
miss it.
Hi.
Oh, sorry, mental.
So, Mental, are you going to Thunderhill? That's the question.
Yes, I am. I'll be judging Thunderhill. So.
Oh, very good. Well, Justin Races Weekends, however many of you are, check out Mental in the robes.
Yes.
So anyway, this is the perfect segue because we're going to be talking about what we bought off of Racing Junk, and we're going to be talking about Thunderhill sooner or later. So don't forget, you can view all the ads on Racing Junk and find your own boring BMW or post basic ads for free. RacingJunk.com. Subscribe to the newsletter and tell them you heard about us on the E1R podcast.
See, it's not just us. It's a great website.
Cool.
Upcoming races.
Lucky Dog at Atlanta Motorsports Park for their Southern Cup Series. There are 43 cars, only 6 BMWs. That's a nice ratio. Good. 14 Miatas. That's might need to become the new boring, but still not there yet. 3 Hondas, 1 Porsche, and a Fiero. Excellent. Grumpy Butt Hong Nor Supras there, and Buzz Vikings Lexus. So good luck to all of those folks.
Reset results.
So I was giving some.
That was pretty
congratulations.
good, actually.
That was
Mental.
good.
That was close.
Scroll.
Yeah.
Champcar raced at Hallett. Saturday, Kruger. I wonder if he's named after the guy from.
I know. So
never
it's
mind.
Kruger tuned. I did not
Oh, Kruger
capitalize the
tuned.
T.
No. Oh, there it is. Okay.
There. Sorry.
Kruger
My bad.
tuned. That's actually a pretty good name. Won in a Boxster, 90 seconds over CU Boulder Racing. That's obviously Colorado University Boulder Racing team, the Colorado Boulder Racing team. Third was PTS in a 96 BMW 318 Ti. So that gets like a half boring, right?
Depends on if it's still an 18.
It's true because it might be a 318 body, but who's got that motor still? Sunday, Basil Weenie beat Kruger Boxster by a mere 21.9 seconds. Third place was the Samo Tutti Piloti Miata. I hope I'm saying that right. A stunning 16 laps back. Wow, that was a gap. 21.9 seconds and then 16 laps. Go Kruger and Basil Weenie. On Saturday, Battle Scarred was 19th, and on Sunday they finished 7th. So
That's
thanks
better.
to those guys. Yeah.
Cool.
Listener feedback.
Our buddy Tyler Stank's new excursion generated some comments on both the Gram and Facebook.
Brett W said, welcome to the V10 Club. Also, welcome to the sub 10 miles per gallon club.
Understood.
We're pretty much
Yes.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was doing the math on how much premix oil we need. And I was like,
A lot.
divide into five, because we have 5-gallon cans. I was like, shit, I better buy a case of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I gave you the 1.5 gallons of mercury quicksilver.
I know, but are
outboard
we going to
juice.
use that or are we going to use the good
Yeah.
stuff? I don't know.
No,
Okay.
this stuff apparently works just as well. And we've got it.
Yeah.
It's free. It was
Yep.
in my shed for 10 years at the
There
Cape.
you
So it's
go.
got to be totally legit. We'll just use a little more.
So when I picked it up, obviously it's a used car lot, and you're not going to argue with the dealership and I want a full tank of gas. So it had a 16th of a tank. As I exited the parking lot, the gas light came on in this thing.
Oh,
Of course.
what?
So I go
course.
on base where gas is cheaper, and my card cuts off at $80.
Yeah.
I reinsert it. It cuts off
Yeah.
again, and it is not full.
Well, and then you're like,
Eat
this isn't
the
even my
beast.
truck. Like, how much am I really going to fill it up for Tyler?
Well, it's going to be here for a few months.
Save your receipts.
And also just the heat with everything down here, you don't want to leave a half tank or less, because basically if the vehicle is going to be sitting, that's just, you're asking for death to a fuel pump.
Well, all right.
But anyway, I'm
Anyway,
sorry, I cut you off there for
no.
your point, Jeff.
That's fine. David E pointed out 10-cylinder means 2 extra opportunities for spark plug extraction surgery. Hope he
Oh.
got the later heads and that sucker.
And we also on the Instas and Facebook, we had a big discussion centered around the new 3 p.m. Race ride.
Jack B said, judging by the affordable look of that cage, I'm guessing this is not the 10-man 392 car, which he is referring actually to
Oh,
Towley.
Oh, I
remember
didn't get that. I didn't know
get
who
it
he was
either.
referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
say our
no,
cage
it's
isn't
not.
bad, but it's
Towley.
not Towley cage.
Yeah.
It's also not
Well,
Towley.
if it were a good cage, it wouldn't have gaps on the top of the main hoop.
We'll get there. We'll
wells.
get
We
there.
fixed
you know.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tim B said, I can't hear the engine over the sound of the chainsaw in the background.
Correct.
Yes.
Totally. DC Doug added, that their neighbors, they love you.
They do,
Actually, he did. He
They
came out and
do.
he
They
said
do.
he did, yeah. After I rammed it into the back of the trailer, he came out and said hi.
Yeah.
This just in, I had asked on the YouTubes for Justin to tell us what he got off of racingjunk.com, and he has written back.
He
It is
emailed
an
us. Oh, great.
It is an E34. It used to be painted with Fireball logos all over it. And then he asked if Mental will be judging inspect at Thunderhill. So yeah,
An
So it's an
E34,
E34.
not
not
one of
boring.
the most. No, not that boring. Those are
Oh
nice.
no.
Good job, Justin.
I still would love to have one as a DD, just to find a good old school. Yeah.
535 manual.
Shark
Yeah.
nose. Yeah.
That's an
Sign 'em up.
E23. But
I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Yeah. 34. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Don't even want the big engine. Don't want an M. Just a nice one.
cool.
All right,
Cool.
Sim Racing Report.
We went to Wild West Motorsports Park in rally cars and trucks, and it's fun. Well, for the few minutes I was there until my Oculus died and wouldn't start again, and because who knew that the computer is not enough to power the Oculus on its own? Like I don't know. Anyway,
You did better
Mad.
than I did. I paid to download 2 cars in the track, and then failed to load all night long, and my computer borked, so I
Oh,
didn't even
yeah.
get to race for 5 minutes.
You're in the same boat.
cool.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, Dave won that in a Pro 4. Santiago close behind in a Beetle, so that's great. They were evenly matched.
It was good to see
And-
Santiago again. I talked to him
Absolutely.
on the Discord for a little while.
Cool. Second race was a figure 8, so everyone won.
Or lost, depending on your...
Yeah, no, everyone wins in a figure 8
Yes,
in
absolutely.
virtual environment.
Lemons actually also had a race, but I had a friend who was celebrating his 50th birthday, and I'm not entirely sure I was conscious the whole weekend. So
Mental, guess who we got to say hi to in real life this
Oh,
weekend?
that's true. And
Aw.
she brought over desserts for the
What
boys.
were they? They were wonderful. I have no idea what they were named.
I think they were
They're like
almond
Cookie
bars. Yeah.
Almond
I think-
bars. Okay.
Oh, they might have been Biscoff. Did they taste like Biscoff?
They're probably more Biscoff than almond.
They-
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know
Biscoff.
what Biscoff is, but they were yummy.
it's a
It's cookie spread. It's like Nutella without the
Oh.
nuts.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
They were
Oh,
really good.
Biscoff. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they
they
kind
were.
of tasted like the cookie part of chocolate chip cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Yes,
mhm,
and they
mhm. Loved
were
them.
some of them were al dente.
that is a
Mhm.
stunning ability to constantly be making new baked goods, and all of them are always
Have
awesome.
you seen the internet? It's really big.
Yeah, and I know lots of people who
And there's
have
more
the
than just
internet
corn
and
on
make
it.
terrible cookies.
Well, she does.
They're like,
some-
oh, I got this recipe on the internet. Blah.
No.
Whose internet? Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, anyway, we got to say
Anyway,
hi to Chrissy's
it's
mom,
all-
and now we'll say virtually hi, Chrissy.
And they're all caught up on podcasts because they were traveling. So
Okay.
they listen.
excellent.